now.
Hey y'all, it's me, Pretty Princess. Um, I'm really trying to figure out like what kind of schedule I want to put my videos on. Like if I want to do a Monday, Wednesday, or Friday, or 2 videos a week, or whatever. But I am working on becoming a little bit more consistent. So I want to talk about something that happened Monday, I guess. Um, and yeah, I do get a lot of content from the groups that I belong to on Facebook, which are interesting. The majority of groups that I belong to are people that are, my age, because I don't really associate with a lot of younger people because I don't know, how these young folks keep up a lot of mess, and I can't deal with that. But a question came up in the group. If your significant other had a baby by your best friend, would you be able to forgive them? And a lot of people, you know, in all honesty, said no. I wouldn't be able to forgive either one of them. Um, I would just cut them out of my life and just move on. And my answer was, you cannot move on without forgiveness. And if you believe in the Bible, you know the whole, how many times am I supposed to forgive my brother? And I think Jesus said 70 times 7 in a day, which is you're supposed to have basically unlimited forgiveness. Now, let me say this. I know how difficult forgiveness is. But if you don't forgive, there is no way that you can move forward. If you're holding on to resentment and unresolved issues, there is no way to move forward. Like I was in a situation with my ex-husband, and we had a really volatile relationship, just horrible at one point. Like I don't, really want to go into detail. And at that time, when we got a divorce, I felt like I would never be able to forgive him for some of the things that he had did. I was holding on to all of that anger and resentment and bringing those things into my next relationship, because that's what we do. We pack those things up in each relationship that we get into. We bring that stuff with us, and if that relationship don't work, we pack up those things from that relationship and we put that in our little suitcase and we move on to the next relationship, and we just have these bags and bags and bags of unresolved issues that we continue to take with us into our relationships because we don't forgive. Now, my ex-husband and I had a opportunity to really sit down and talk about a lot of things that had happened to us. And I really feel like the only reason why we were able to really talk about this stuff is because he was sick and he knew that his time on this earth was really short. And he wanted me to forgive him before he left. which was a blessing. It really was. And I'm so glad that it happened, because I feel like had that not happened, I wouldn't be the person that I am in my marriage now. If I was still holding on to that anger and unforgiveness, I wouldn't be able to be as open in my marriage now. And what struck a chord was one of the ladies my age basically said, you don't have to forgive to move on. You can live your life and see that person and never speak to them again. And you have moved on, but you haven't. If you see somebody that you holding a grudge against and you can never speak to them, then you haven't moved on, because you're still holding that and you're still harboring all of that stuff in your heart against that person. You haven't moved on. And that's what people don't seem to understand. If you don't let those things go, then you stay in that negative pit. So my ex-husband and I had some really, really interesting and thought-provoking conversations before he actually passed away. And I'm just grateful that, I learned that lesson. And now forgiveness, since I can forgive him, forgiveness is so much easier for me now. When things happen, I'm able to just, you know what, I'm going to just let that go. Because one thing we need to realize is we can't change other people. The only people we can change is ourselves. I can't change the things that you do to me, but I can change the way I react to the things that you do to me. I can change that. Like the old saying, unforgiveness is like drinking poison and expecting the other person to die. They're not going to die because you didn't forgive them. But you are. If you're holding on and you're harboring all this negativity and unresolved stuff, you're killing yourself. I'm checking my time, and I can't see it without my glasses. You're killing yourself. You're not killing that person. You're not even hurting that person. Because 9 times out of 10, the person that you haven't forgiven, they done went on about their life. And not even tripping off of what you tripping off of. They done moved on to irritate somebody else or to make somebody else mad or whatever. And you still harboring those issues. So I'm just asking you today, if it's anything in your heart that you need to resolve, or if it's anybody you need to forgive, I'm not saying you got to call them on the phone. Check this out, Shaniqua. I'm just calling to let you know that I forgive you. I'm not saying that. I'm saying before this year is over, what would be a good exercise is for you to really sit down and just write out some of the things that you think are bothering you. Really sit down and think. Take an inventory of your heart and write down some of these things. I'm serious. If you take a pen and you sit down in front of an empty piece of paper and you are really honest with yourself will bring up these things. Write them down and think about them before this year is, because this 2015 is almost gone. And you don't want to take this unresolved mess into 2016. I know we hear this every year. 2016 coming, I'm not going to do wumpty, 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 wump. And 2016 coming, you still doing the same old shit you was doing in 2015. Come on now. We gon' have to do better. Because this world is changing. Whether you want to accept it or not, we are in a major shift. And if we don't get ourselves together, if the people that have gifts don't come out and start sharing these gifts and start helping people, we're going to be in some serious trouble. So I'm trying to help you today. Take you a pen and get you a blank piece of paper and write down some things that are bothering you and let those things go. And if you're having a problem doing that, my inbox is always open. Yes, I am a spiritualist. And yes, I do take clients. And yes, I do pro bono work. If you don't have no money, I don't care. If I can't do nothing but send you a letter and pray with you, I'm willing to do that. Because I have a gift. And I know that I'm meant to help people. And I'm willing to do that. So take that advice if you don't take nothing else from Pretty Princess. Get you a piece of paper, write down some things that's bothering you today, and let them go. Blessings to you guys. I love y'all. Bye.
One for the money, two for the show. Don't play me, honey. This is how we go.